The second movement in the cat stretch series is the basic arch and curl. So the basic arch and curl starts once again with you lying on your back. Your knees are bent, your feet flat on the floor, and we're basically working with the spine starting to get mobilized. To start with the lower body, you would take both of the feet and start to bring them up into gravity a bit. So you're just basically starting to feel the lightening of the pressure of your feet on the floor. And at the same time, you'll feel how that starts to pull on your pelvis, and it's going to arch your lower back and it's going to rotate your pelvis a little bit so that the pressure is going to slowly roll down towards your tailbone in a sense. So as you get that, there will be a little bit more rounding through the front of the belly. And as that pressure rolls this way, you'll also notice that there tends to be a bit of an increase already of the pressure going up into your head. So let's just see how that works. That if I start to lighten up the pressure on my feet, I get the rotation of the pelvis, I get the beginnings of an arching in my lower back, and as that happens, I can follow that arching up my spine by letting my head start to tilt backward and letting a slight increase in pressure happen in the back of my head. And what that does is it starts to give the whole spine a contraction, which takes that roundness that starts in your belly and starts to bring it up through the full chest, so that you start to get this kind of look of just a rounding through the whole spine. And just holding to whatever your pressure is for that, what feels like the edge of your movement, and then let it come back down again. Now, one thing you're going to notice with these movements is they will always take you into the edge of where your habit starts to work hard. So for example, as I go into the arch like this, there's a certain point where I could make my body go more. It becomes an exercise though, and what you want to do is to feel the edge where movement that wants to happen, that feels easy, starts to feel like it runs into like a turbulence, a pushback, where your disorganization, your habits are in conflict with the movement that wants to happen. If you just hang out there, you'll notice that there's kind of like a feeling of being at that edge, feeling the sensation of it, and then letting yourself let down from there starts to re-educate your nervous system and gives your body a chance to take that information in. And you'll find that it learns from that. And we'll have a chance to see that as we go through the series, that with each repetition, as we come back very slowly, there will be an increase in range, of the range of ease though, not of you having to be able to push and get through something which is pushing back against you. So that's the first half of the arch and curl, is just getting the arch of that in through your body. The second half of the arch and curl is to start to get a flattening through the back. And so to do that, you start to push with your lower back into the floor. You might even find that just a little bit of a push through your feet happens with that, and that there's a lightening of the pressure on your pelvis and engagement of your abdomen. And so there's even going to be a slight rotation of your pelvis as it starts to kind of flatten out in the lower back and lift off the floor a little bit and rotate just a little bit this way. Right. So let's start this again. Here I go, slightly flattening my lower back, slight increase of pressure with my feet, feeling that engagement through my abdomen. And then as that starts to lengthen up my spine, we help that along by bringing your hands just a little bit behind your neck, like somewhere up in this area, up into the base of the skull, even wherever it feels comfortable with your two hands, as if you were going to do a sit-up. But in this case, you're just going to be stroking along the back of your neck. So here I am on the floor, and I just stroke along the back of my neck, and it helps my muscles feel how they could lengthen on their own. I'm actually not picking up the head at all, and just trying to get a feel for how that chin can come down. There can be a lengthening through your spine that matches the lengthening through the lower body, and then just letting that come back down and feeling yourself drop back into the floor. So these movements can be repeated 3 to 10 times.